Hello and welcome everyone into today's charting session with Big Bull. Guys, everything is gonna be the same, just like the old charting sessions. First, I'm gonna start with ETFs. Gonna go through all the ETFs today, and then I'm gonna go through this my watch list. I have almost 150 200 names. I'm gonna chart all of them, and we'll try to find fire setups for next week. And then in the end, we'll host some a Q&A session and a charting request session. If I missed any chart, you guys can uh, ask in the end. And then we will do some a couple recaps too on this one in this charting session, guys. I'm in no rush, so we're doing it after a long time, so we'll probably do for an hour and a half or two. So be free, guys. Yes, guys. um so first thing first, arc. Let's see what's arc doing. We got this breakout, but I had this range uh, for a long time. Like for this past week, arc didn't move at all. uh, Guys, you have not children yet, guys. I'm not even married yet, come on. uh, this arc was in a sideways range, so they didn't give me really any trade. It was just a chop. So you know me, I stay out of a chop unless there is a break of a range either side. We got this breakout, but it was a clear fake out, and then went down. And then by end of the day, I think market went into this support again, and then market bounced off of this level again. So we'll see if you are a short, if you want a short. So that is a perfect place to short, because the risk is very low here, because we have a price goes in the zone and then going back down. So if Monday we go into this zone back again, so that would give us a good short opportunity with a very low risk. So let's say if candle goes here and then you see the rejection is here, and then we can clearly get into short with the stop of high of this day, or the same day high, right? So nothing really going on, so just a sideways action. Any side break will get a swing. Arc, same story here, sideways action, guys. So if you think most of the names are not moving, like Square, Twilio, SC, or there are a couple other names too. Like with Arc is heavy, like Coin is there. Um, because they didn't move last week. I know most of the people bought puts on them too, and then didn't make any money because their ETF was in a sideways range. Look at Arc, right? Look at our complete sideways action, not doing anything. And then people buying puts on Twilio, Square, all these names, like hoping they will go down with indexes. But the thing is, all these names, Square, that are just counted. They don't care about indexes. They care about their own parent index, which is Arc. Arc was sideways, and then so all the names were. So always check the parent ETF before trading anything. So Arc was sideways, so that's why I didn't even trade any Arc names this past week. I guess only couple I traded. So Arc, so we have clear range above 44.50, easy call setup, or we can take this wick into account too, right? So this whole zone, and then for the downside, it's the easy here. For downside, below 40, it can drop back to these lows here, easy. If not even this low, if this breaken, then it will not stop here. It's gonna be more than that. And then if you break this one, then we have a clear supply here, then we have a clear supply zone here, and then it can easily push up to this 50-52 zone here before heading down, basically. Arc Technologies, same setup here, price in a sideways range. all of the arc is a sideways this week. Let's see which side plays out. And then we also have a supply here at these levels where I assume price would reject, because we're in a bear market. Every single rip is going to get sold. So guys, stop calling for bottoms and then stop following people who says bottom is in. um, I'll show you today something that will confirm when the bottom is in. um, so arc W, same thing. Arc X is the same thing. So now we have, let's look at semiconductor ETF, guys. Nice hammer here on the daily, not gonna lie. Inverted hammer followed by hammer into support here. Let's see how that plays out. Key level would be semiconductor ETF is 233.42 going into next week. And then we have this low here, this whole basically range here. So if we break this range, and then it's gonna go more down. Let's see. Oh, bouncing off this range here. Okay, so the next support here is at 210 on the break. So quite wide range here on this one. So a quick trade on this one. If we break, so two key levels I'm watching this one. So 233.42 is all right level, just a day trade level, but 240 is a big level, because that is where price went and made a high and rejected. So it looks like it's trying to make this higher high. It's in the past, we never had this. So if you guys see, since we have this high here, all-time highs, we're making lower lows. We're making lower lows in here. So this is the first time price is trying to make higher low, and then if this highs get broken, then we may see a change in trend for some time. So that would be a bullish structure breakout, right? So two levels I'm watching: 240 and 233.42. Uranium ETF looks like same as ARC, going sideways, no trade. Biotech names, sideways again. Okay, but nice candle here on the daily. Wait a second, guys. Okay, this was a bad cough. Guys, I'm still recovering, guys. I was so sick last week. I had like 103 fever. I was hospitalized. It was tough. Still recovering. I still have some cough and mucus. All right, guys. My bad about that. Okay, back to business. Biotech ETF price is sideways. So 71.50 is a key level I'm watching for upside here. Support is far away, so not gonna set an alert here. I'm just gonna watch this one, because we have this resistance here too. If you see in the past, we got this breakdown on this range and we never got a retest, right? And then if we get a retest of this, this is a range, so it needs to clear this range before making any highs, because a clear range here And then if it goes there and started rejecting, that would be also a good shot. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm having ginger tea right now while charting session, so should help. Materials. I mean, this is sideways. I don't like to trade material stocks much. XLC communication sector. Okay, guys, most of the stuff you're gonna see, I think it's gonna be the sideways range. So we will get a trade both sides this week, in my opinion. So this is the range I'm watching on communications. So 53.62 key level, break that key level, and then we're gonna bleed more. Uh, wow. Okay. So next support is pretty far away. So 53, I would say, is the next support here on communication on this break. And then if we take this range here to the downside, so yeah, it's also giving us the same target. So if it breaks this, it can easily go to 53 next. And then if you break the upside, and then we can also get a retest of this breakdown on this on the weekly level, right? So it break down and then weekly retest or monthly retest, and then before heading back down here. Let's look at weekly magnets. Okay, yeah. Sideways action. XLE energy, guys. Let's look at energy. Starting to form a bearish divergence here on the daily chart. Again, guys, I only use this RSI shit on the daily or weekly chart. Never use it on the 50-minute chart. So I always use RSI in conjunction with my Elliott waves count. So it's RSI and Elliott waves go hand in hand. Tells you the whole story what's coming next. So we got this divergence, so that means the waves are finished. We might get a last push higher before heading down, but if we break this trend and break this sideways range here, that means the top is in for now in energy, and then we can easily play it to the downside for a couple days. So the key levels on energy is 79 11 79.11, and then we have this small gap to fill, and then so this is obviously a key range here. So this is a key range. Break this, come to this zone, either bounce off of it or break it, and then go to this fresh demand here that it formed, never get tested. This daily fresh demand. So if it breaks down here, it has chances to come to this range here before see some oversold bounce, right? And then for the upside, probably a final leg higher, 84.57. So that's a range we are working with on XLE. Financials made a new low and bounced off of this support perfectly, but I think there's more lows to come. We have this gap here, small gap to fill, and then this is not really a demand here. If you ask me, this is not really not really a daily demand zone. So daily demand zone lies here in this range. So price has to come back to demand before seeing any buyers, right? So gotta come to the demand, and then before seeing any oversold bounce in the price. But right now is following S&P for now. So two ranges I have here. So this is a weekly range I'm gonna draw here. So this is the whole weekly range on XLF, and then intraday is the Friday highs. So if Friday high breaks, it can go up to this range, but I would be careful around this level. I would be careful on this level when price goes here. Most likely gonna reject here at these levels, because we have this level was working support first, working as support, breakdown, working as a resistance. went there once, rejected hard. So if it goes back there again, um, that should also reject back again here too. And then for the downside, we have 32 44, a clear break, and then we can easily fill this gap here and then come into this demand here. Even though it has this huge gap here too, this November gap. Let's see, we have whole um, I mean 6 months left in this year. A lot can happen. Healthcare looking good, healthcare sector, not gonna lie, bouncing off this prior zone here. So basically in this it's in this huge sideways range here. In the weekly, I think we drawn this couple of weeks back, and then it's still respecting this zone here. So it's trying to make this higher high, if you guys can see, and then most of people can also see this bull flag too, right? So it's trying to make in the sideways action, but I don't trust patterns. I trust the levels the most, unless level is not breaking, right? So the key level here for healthcare is break of this high. So that break of high would be change in trend, change in a daily trend. So daily trend would change on this break, and then we can play it onto the upside on that break. So I think I would play Pfizer, J&J, CVS. I think all these healthcare names that goes well with this healthcare ETF. 131.41 is a key level I'll be watching on this healthcare name. Consumer names formed a hammer into the demand here. Nice reaction of this daily demand zone. Um, Formed a hammer. Looks like a bit extended too on the weekly chart. Let's see. Looks a bit extended here and weak too. So let's see what happens. Consumer names. I think MO is also follows all these consumer ETFs too. Yeah, I think it was weak, and then it was breaking down, and then I called MO, and then it went 700%. So that was a fire trade on the, I think, consumer side, and then now it formed a hammer. So what's next? Two levels. So we have this 145.35 break. We can get this probably oversold bounce or a fresh demand bounce the first time it touched. But if you guys see, we have this clear sideways range here for a couple times, couple days, and then it broke down, never got retested. So if it breaks this level next week of this hammer, probably most of the bulls are long now by looking at this hammer into demand, and then their stop loss is this, so they think we might push up. So if we break this highs, we can easily yield couple points here. So almost 3-point move on the break, and then probably get a retest of this level, and then back down. But we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna work with these levels for now. Okay, mining ETF sideways action, nothing going on. Bouncing off this prior huge range that it broke out of. So broke out, retested, going higher. So guys, what's next? If this low holds, that's all right. That's good. That's good for bulls, and then they can break out of this pattern, and then they can go up a little bit higher here. But if we break this low here, if we break this low by any chance, next week or a week after, so that would be a clear fake out here of this huge range here. So that it formed, right? It's a huge range. It broke out, so it needs to hold above this. So it won't be a fake out. So if it breaks out this level, so that means that's a complete fake out of this huge range. And then that means, then what I'm gonna do, then I'm gonna wait for this level to get tested again, and then rejected back down around this level, and then there are very high chances that it will break this support too. Guys, who is this guy, Radik? I'm gonna fucking block this guy. So if we got a fake out of this level, and then it retested this level again as a resistance, so then there are very high chances that it will break this support too. So always have this pattern in mind. You guys know I always talk about this, that whenever we have a fake out of resistance and then price approach support, so always be mindful of support. Then there are very high chances after fake out we get a support break, or and vice versa, right? So this is going to be a main ETF on watch. Dow Jones bouncing off my level perfectly. 305.73 was level given. um, Made a hammer here, so a lot of bulls in the market now, I guess, of this hammer. Low volume though, look at this, low volume all week. So let's see how good it is. But guys, I won't go long on Dow Jones unless we are above these levels. um, like this zone here, you see, that's a clear support here in the past, that we got a bounce of this level, uh, and then it bounced and then came, it took a rest here, and then broke down and then went and then rejected here too. So unless price is above this zone in Dow Jones, I wouldn't go long, and then price is in this complete downtrend too. So anything would happen. So I need more confirmation here, not just this hammer, right? But price might go sideways for some time here, probably a day or two, and then we see a pattern break to the any side, and that'd be good to watch. IWM, guys, trying to make this higher low here the first time. If you guys see, made this low here, made this high, now just making this lower. Most people will see this as probably a bull flag, but no reason to see it as a bull flag, only need your levels. So let me see where the daily magnets are. Okay. So key level 152, 182. So this high, which is 182.84, key level here on IWM. Break this, and then we can test some highs here. For the intraday, I have this level, important level too. You can see a resistance in the past, working as a nice resistance at this level at 179. If we break this 179, we can test these highs pretty pretty nicely on this one. So these two levels I'm watching on IWM going into next week, and then we have this resistance here. So guys, if we go into these zones here, that would give us a perfect shot opportunity here. Like market is still in the bear market. Every single rips is getting sold. So the cheaper we get our puts, it's better, right? So I want some ETFs to fly, so they can get out of some oversold conditions, and then so they can go back down. As do not try to chase bottoms here in this market, because what can go lower, they can go a lot lower. What is going higher, it can keep going up. So have this uh, bias always when you're trading. So it filled this gap, didn't fill this gap completely here on Qs, and bounced off perfectly of 100% retracement of this drop here, and then looked like also a demand here too on Qs. But I think more lows to come here for entire market. Let's see, wait. Very low targets here for wave 3. but we'll see how that goes. Let's see where the magnets are. Okay, good levels here. What going into next week for Qs, formed a hammer. So guys, I didn't do my alert wave analysis yet on SPY. Been a long time, but it worked out to the T from the top until now. I'm gonna post my wave analysis on Twitter this evening or probably tomorrow. So watch out for that. Qs 294 is a 50 level is a key here. Break this level and then we can test this resistance back again. Guys, price still is in the sideways range, and then we got this fake out. We got this fake out here. This was a prior low, it broke down, it faked out, closed under it, and then you guys know when that happens, we got then I watch resistance and to see if it's breaking out or not after after a trap. But guys, price still in the range. We would still expect a chop from Qs. So always a trade on a trend day, unless your levels are not breaking, no trades. It's that simple. 294.50 breaks. Next level is 302.61 here on Qs. Let's mark these levels here. And then for the downside, let's look at 4 hours. Guys, if you look into 4 hours, let's look at, I want to see something. Yes, if you look into 1 hour, right, if you look into 1 hour, smaller time frame analysis here, we had this clear range in 1 hour price. We had this huge drop, and then I think JPOW came in. JPOW came in, and then everyone was bullish, and then we closed into this clear resistance here, guys. When we close into resistance, you don't buy calls, you buy puts, right? And then what happened? We closed into this resistance, and then what happened? We got a gap down, and then what happens? We have a gap and go scenario. So gap and go. So every single candle in 1 hour was red here. So that means that was a very impulsive move to the downside, and then that means now what's gonna happen after this huge move to the downside? We're gonna chop. It was, guys, when I saw this pattern here, guys, I saw this so many times in the past. Let me show you. In 1 hour, we got this huge move down, impulsive move down to, and then we got a chop, right? We got a chop, we got a move to the upside, right? And then it went into, closed into resistance, it closed into this resistance, and then we got a gap down, gap and go, right? We had a huge move to the downside, and then market goes sideways here. Market goes sideways, we got a move down, market goes sideways again. Can show you here again too, right? So many examples here. Move to the downside, right? And we got consolidation break to the upside, then we got a gap and go. So you guys get the idea here, right? So whenever you guys see an impulsive move, do not try to short the market the same day or the next day. I was very sure that it's gonna go down, and then it's gonna go sideways, and then once it's gonna go sideways, when the shorts loaded again in here in this zone, guys, this is a clear distribution phase here. This is not an accumulation. People who were buying calls here, I don't know, God bless them, but if you see this kind of pattern, this is the distribution pattern here. So price goes sideways, and then we got a break to the downside, and then I caught this move in the Discord, and then we called the puts when it broke this level on SPY, and then entered on the retest, and then I think puts went 400%, and then we literally sold the bottom here on SPY, and then I did not get caught of this move by the day end. I was done for the day. But for now, what's next for Qs? I was watching 1 hour, And then I saw, this we had this huge range with a huge range breakdown, but we never got a retest of this level. But Q's closed into this resistance here now. So which was support first, now a resistance. So if we open somewhere around here, if we open somewhere around here in these levels, or in this range here, in this zone, so that would give us a clear shot. That would give us a clear shot. And then I would also assume this gap and go kind of scenario here too, right? So gap and go scenario, closing into resistance, gap down, um, closing into resistance, gap down, right? Look at this, opening into resistance, gap down, going into resistance, and then gapping down the next day, guys. So that's the pattern. That's the pattern Qs are following. So I added puts for next week. So let's see how that goes. Just a lot of size, but we'll see how that goes. um, spy, let's look at spy is down what, up from all-time highs. Yeah, guys, that cough doesn't sound good, but I'm good, guys. It's just a fucking cough now. Spy hit bear market first time, and then bulls did not like it. Bulls did not like that spy hit the bear market first time, so they tried to push the price very aggressively, the price out of bear market, and then they were successful, but they won't be for a long time, right? This happened with Qs too. When Qs hit bear market territory first time, it dropped 20%. The bulls got mad, and they were like, how could that happen in a bull market? So they got aggressive, and then they formed a hammer, and then they pushed it higher. So spy, same things happening. Bulls are mad. How can that happen in a bull market? So they aggressively, blindly bought that dip here, and then that's why we got this rally, and then we also got some short covering too. Even if we push higher into the, let's say, that was a clear breakdown. So unless um, prices above this highs, above Friday highs, I would consider calls. If price is above Friday highs, I would consider calls with the targets of 403.70 on this one. And then if I want to get puts, then I would be watching this low here, this 1 hour low. This 1 hour low, scalp puts, no full size, but just a quick scalp. And then this is the key level, 380.50, 380.50 breaks, 371 comes next on S&P. Oh, guys, we are in half an hour already. I'm still on ETFs. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make it quick. Let's look at some retracements here real quick. So 350 is not far away. Expecting SPY to trade around 350. That is where the third wave is gonna go. If you can clearly see, right, 1, 2, 3, and then we got a bounce, and then we got another low, right? But I will post my analysis, Elliott wave analysis, on Twitter, guys. It's working perfectly so far. So all right, guys, so that's about the ETFs. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. How do you tell if the bottom hit or not? Watch your supports, guys. Watch your support. That's, that if, like, let's look at arc, right? if you can, we can clearly see, guys, like if you're saying that arc is chopping around, it's technically it's not, technically it's giving you very good trades. I have traded square like this, couple times. This week I bought calls and puts on this name. If you look at in the 50-minute time frame, um I was like, okay, so I had these levels on my chart. It was here, it was here, and then I had this resistance back here. So it went here, it came down to support, and then I bought calls, it went up, and then it goes here. I think it opened here in the morning, and then I alerted puts, and then it went back down, and then so once you see this local support formed, you can just easily trade this chop here, just buying at support and selling at resistance when you see this sideways action. um, it's easy to trade the chop, because then you have a clear levels. No, guys, I didn't have private trade, but I trade with Samurai Markets. We live trade there every single day. Can you copy a link? Yeah, I can give you guys a link, but I don't know if I can send it in the chat here. Guys, huge volume, end of the day buying, guys. Guys, do not trust this volume. Never trust volume much, unless it's breaking some levels here, because we'll always see buying, guys. We'll always see buying in the last 10-15 minutes. It cannot be a buying always, right? It cannot be a buying always. It could just be a shorts reloading too. So always have both bias when looking at volume, and how it's reacting. So if I see this is breaking down, this is a key level, right? So and then this was also a trade I took with the members here, that price was in this huge range, and then when it broke down on this level, and then we got this retest because it break down, and both were on high volume. Look at this, both candles were on high volume here. So that means it shows that people want to get out. People don't want to buy at this level because it's breaking key level, it's retesting this key level. That means people are getting out, or they are loading short. So that's why there's a huge volume spikes. So and then same thing here too, is going into this supply here. It's going into this supply, and then there is a supply overhead too. This could just be a shorts reloading. That's why it could the volume too. So always interpret volume with the both bias, not with just a single one. And then you can understand your levels better if you interpret volume like that. So double A, the first one here is a double A, and then we have this clear resistance here at these levels. So what's next? I'm gonna set an alert at high of this range, and high of this range, and then low of this range. Um, so 58, 50 is a key level for the downside here, and then 64, 60 for the upside. So I'm going to set on alert both sides. So even if we get a couple more days of chop, that's all right. And then the target, it would be 68 on this break, and then on this break I think we have this gap to fill too here. We have this small gap to fill, and then this breakdown is going to fill the gap, it's going to go into support, and then that is my target on this one. Apple, huge wick here, huge wick of this demand here, of this base that it formed. So, guys, that's a clear base that it took a stop before rallying higher. So that means that is where a lot of buyers came in this zone, the small zone, and then it top ticked into this one, into this fresh daily demand, and then we got a bounce of this level here. uh, what's next? The key level watching on Apple. Okay, this is tricky. So um, this zone I'm watching on Apple, to go long, watch this zone. If Apple is not above this zone, not interested in going long at all, not interested in going long at all, we might see some, maybe not an instant drop, a sideways action before going up or down. But for now, we are working with this range on Apple for any upside. And then obviously we have this low break that would send Apple to 127, 127, 128 next on this one. Guys, I alerted Apple puts on Twitter, and then got some hate for alerting puts because Apple bulls got mad that how would Apple go down, right? But I'm gonna tell you bulls, you're gonna have a bumpy road ahead. You're gonna be mad when you're gonna see Apple in 120s or even 100 pretty soon. Um, mm, so a quick trade recap on Apple. For the bulls who were stubborn enough by that didn't let their bias go off. A quick trade recap for them, so next time they will see the levels before getting mad. Um, so a quick trade recap here on Apple, how I scored 150% on Apple trade. So can clearly see this was a supply here, right? This was a clear supply zone I had marked on my chart, and then so this was support here that I marked. What happened, guys? I had this uh, uptrend here, or a bear flag, you can say, right? So we had the bear flag marked, and then I alerted puts when it broke down of this level, and then what happened is, it was somewhere around I marked this level, so it came into my zone, and then I was like, all right, there are chances that it can break down of this level, and then I alerted puts. Then I alerted puts that it's going to break down because we were seeing this high volume, and then alerted puts on Twitter before close that it's going to go down, and then we were up, I think, 10% or something. And then what happened, guys? Next day, price gapped up. Price gapped up, but where it gapped up, guys? What I was talking before. If you guys watch the Q's section when I was analyzing it, what happens? It opened into a supply here. It opened in supply, and then when something gaps up into supply, we know what happens. It just gets smashed back down. Um, and then it gapped up into supply, and then it just approached the supply. So this was my stop loss. So this was my stop loss. If price gets above this level, I'm gonna get stopped out. But what happened? We went into this supply. Uh, we price went close to my stop loss level. What does mean, guys? So the reason why we have stop loss, I also, the people, I also explained this yesterday in the Twitter Spaces. I'm gonna explain it too for the people who did not attend that. The reason we have a stop loss on our position is we expect for price not to go there, right? So we just don't have a stop loss at a random places, so it get hit and then we get stopped out. No, the reason we have a stop loss on our position because we expect price to go near the stop loss but not hitting the stop loss, right? So 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 I was not expecting Apple to go above my stop loss. So when price goes close to my stop loss, that even gave me a perfect entry because that's what I was missing before. Now I have a way lower risk with the same stop loss and a higher reward here. So what I did, my average was, I think, 130 on the contracts next week is open into my near stop loss. I was like, all right, I'm gonna average down because it's near my stop loss. What would happen, guys? So the worst could happen is candle closed here and then starting going up, and then I get stopped out for minus 20%, and then and the reward was pretty big on this one because we had a gap down, and then we are overall in a bear market. Um, and then price goes into supply. I added puts. I was like, all right, guys, I am averaging down on my position, send an alert on Twitter everywhere, right? And I'm averaging down. My new average is $1. and then my new average went down to $1, and then it rejected hard. It formed this daily range here. It formed this clear daily range, and then it broke down. I added a lot more puts here, right? They're not alert. They're not alert because that was a clear. I was preaching this level, this whole morning, right? And then I added a lot more puts of this level, and then when this level breaks again, the prior day low, I added even more puts, right? So that's how I traded Apple, 450% down to this level. Sold the bottom here, on this one because I had this supply demand marked on my charts. So when it came into this fresh demand, I knew that after this huge impulsive move, what's gonna happen? We're gonna get buyers by end of the day, and then I sold. Then I was in very small position puts. Um, so that was I was just taking from profit. So I don't mind losing on that one, but it's all I did, but I did not alert that position here. But you guys see how I traded Apple. Even though when it was down minus 30%, and then I averaged down, and then it went 160, I think, percent on this one. Very nice fire trade. And then bulls got clearly fucked. Uh, Guys, instead of getting mad at Twitter, if you guys, if bulls do their homework, that'd be even much better. Yo, Mr. Shinobi Signals is here. Shout out to my boy. I love him. Guys, I love our team. Love our team. Guys, no one out here in this whole Twitter, yeah, guys, giving out that much knowledge. Yes, we are going live on Twitter. We're going live on YouTube, guys, for free, and then um, in our in our premium section, guys, we always have classes every single week, most likely like couple classes. So it's the best. It's the best. Love doing that. I'm gonna always do that. Um, Airbnb. Um, Again, look at this. Price is in the sideways range, and then it's this small downtrend is forming too on this one. 117 is the key break level here. Okay, I'm gonna set an alert to 117 for the upside and 107 for the downside here, and then clear targets on Airbnb. Break this, go to 123, and then if Airbnb goes to this level, guys, if people, Airbnb, I mean, sorry. So if Airbnb goes to this level, that would give us a clear shot, right? That would give us a clear shot on Airbnb because it had a huge range, weekly range breakdown, never got retested. So if we go there, I would love to buy some cheap puts. Mm. Guys, we have a lot of big things coming for you guys. Just you guys gonna love all that. Let's go. Let's go. You know, you guys are crazy. All right, Adobe. I'm not interested in this one. Yo, Shinobi. Okay, Shinobi. Okay, he took over the chat. Shinobi took over the chat. That's funny. Yo, I love him. I love him so much. Love our team. Can't wait to go live next week again, and then trade live. That's gonna be fun. So what's next? What's next here? ADSK price sideways, no trade unless price breaks any level here. So it's a self. No, no need to tell. AFL, AFL here. Uh, looks like a big move coming in this name because it's going down slowly, slowly. So probably um, another move down coming, a big one. Or I guess it's time to learn now. Mm, AFL, guys, never mind. I don't like this. A forum guide. This is a good setup to be honest for a short side. Why? Because can clearly see price from this support here from this hammer and we had a huge rally of this level. I think I don't know 100 200%. So 100% rally of this level, and it broke down this level, and then it's retesting this level back again. It looks like it's rejecting price in is sideways. So if we break this level next week, which is 2220 or 2120 in general, right? um, and then it has a nice gap to fill to the downside, it would give us an easy trade uh, uh, for the downside play here. And then for the upside, I'll be watching 2750, because if this is a fake out, right, you gotta have all scenarios. If this is a fake out, it comes here, it break out, and then it can easily go to the upside. But that's a very low probability scenario, but still. Um, AMAT dipped into this support here and then bounced. And what's next for AMAT? Price in a range. So unless price is above 117.17, 117.25, then we can add calls on this one. Unless unless this lows breaken, that would give us a good trade. Why? Because you guys see price in this huge range here sideways. So if it breaks to any side, it would give us a good trade. And then on top, it reported bad earnings, and then if it goes down, it can easily go down and test this support here, which is around 80-87 levels. Break this, and then easy target here for the downside. Definitely on the high watch in case it breaks down. AMC broke down the other day. Levels were given on this one. And then what's next for AMC? 1143, big level, setting an alert at 1143, break 1143, and then it can test these lows here easily, probably in one day, right? So, and then we got this small uptrend break, we got this shooting star, and then sideways action, shorts loaded, and then dropped the next day. So now bouncing off this support here, 1143, break this, and then it's game over. AMD, yo, that's a nice hammer. That's a nice hammer. Bounced off our level 88.36. So that is a level I'm gonna be watching next week. So below this level 88, 80, 10, 15, AMD can go down, but it formed a nice hammer. So let's see. Let's can quickly day trade this one. Can quickly day trade um, AMC above Friday highs. And there's still a lot of candles here, but can quickly take a day trade, probably for like 20-50% trade, but not like follow the trend kind of stuff. Guys, price in a huge range here. Price in a huge range. So either we break 105 to the upside, and then it can be in momentum again. If not, price is going to just chop around here on sideways, and then we have this supply here too at this level. Yeah, look at this. What happens? Price dropped, formed a base, dropped again. So it's a fresh supply zone above. So Best Buy, I think it's a good one to play the bounce on, to be honest. So formed a hammer into support probably, um, and then um, we got this huge range breakdown on this one. We never got a retest. So if we push here into the supply back again, either you wait for it, either you can play it. Uh, the retest, and then if it goes there, and then I would look for a shot, probably a swing, and then for a reject back down here of this level. Looks like an impulsive move to the downside. So earnings coming up, let's see how that goes. Amazon, because I don't know why, it's just everything's gonna drop hard. I think we still haven't seen the big move. We're only seeing like 2%, 4% moves on SPY and stuff. But I think if we are really in a, in a bear market, we should see, a couple circuit breakers, to be honest, on SPY and Qs. I think it's coming close and close that day where we'll see a huge drawdown of a huge capitulation move on SPY before the bottom is in. So, guys, the bottom cannot be in unless we see a huge spikes in VIX. Let me show you guys. Right, if you see the VIX in the past, let's look at 2016 crash, and then VIX spiked all the way 53 and bear market ended. 2018 huge VIX spike to 50 and bear market ended. 2020 huge spike in 85 and bear market ended. Right, I can show you all these examples. Right, 2011 crash, this, and then 2010 2000 crash, and then there's a huge 2008 crash, guys. Like VIX spiked and then bear market ended, and then where the VIX now? It's just chilling. It's just chilling here, doing nothing, right? So if it breaks its downtrend, and then it also form this support here too, and then the one key thing that I'll be watching is this downtrend here on VIX, that it's working perfectly since we have the top on equities, right, since November, and then it's following this uptrend here um, on VIX. So every time it gets there, we get a huge a move on in the VIX whenever price comes to this trend line here. So this is a key level I'll be watching on VIX, and I think if the bottom needs to be in, the VIX needs to be around 50 or above that level, right? So we're not there yet. I think we'll see one or two big red days on overall market, where we see, all sellers are out, the capitulation move happens, and then the bottom is in, and then because that would be a big bottom in the stock market where we can go up for months. But now is not the time to buy that dip, in my opinion, because we are in a complete bear market, and then VIX is just sideways. And then I want to show you guys another example here, a quick one, that so this is a weekly chart of the stocks that, so Nasdaq 100 stocks above 200-day moving average. So we got this housing market crash, and then we got a huge bounce of this level, and then this a 2011 market fall, and then we got a huge bounce, and then this was a 2016 crash, and then 2018 crash, and then this is 2022 crash. So right now we are hovering around this level back again. So that means only 10%, 11, 12% of stocks are above their 200-day moving average. So unless this, goes into this territory, the price, or we probably see, a couple bounces here and then go down, and then I think that would show us a clear market bottoms on. We'll keep you guys updated on this one, but that's just a macro view of the market. That doesn't mean that the bottom is gonna be in soon. American Express, guys. This I think this one is setting up for a nice shot. That's gonna keep an eye on this level, 149.90 level. I'm gonna set an alert going into next week. Huge range, guys. Huge range. And then we got this huge bounces, and then its uptrend got broken from December. Uptrend break, we got a retest, now it's going down. And then probably they're gonna trap the bulls here by saying it's a double bottom, and then probably another bounce here too in this whole range. That does not mean we are bullish, right? So watch this level, very important. Yeah, once this level breaks, that would give us a fire trade. Is going to 140 next on that break. So this is level I'm watching going to next week and after. Be a complete breakdown here on BA, hovering around a big level of support. So big level here, 113. 113.75 is a key level I'm watching on BA. So this level breaks, the next thing is going to test this COVID lows here. And then not going to say, but this thing, man, okay, does like a huge rounding top here. Huge rounding top. And then we got this huge rounding top in this one, and we got this huge flush, right? And then it's a huge rounding top forming. Bulls do not want this low break, the COVID lows, guys. Once this low is broken, I don't even know where BX gonna go, guys. I mean, it's already down from 270 to 80 bucks, probably in the penny land after that. But bulls clearly do not want this level break at all. Baba, guys, I don't deal with Chinese shit. Um, Bank of America, we saw a move down under this level. So 34.25 is the key level here. So if we go there and then it's starting to reject, that would give us a good entry on the puts, or it breaks the Friday lows and then it's game over. My bad. Beyond, I played Beyond Friday for I think for 40% on this one, but that was a quick trade. Price is in this range, guys. I don't like playing it, but when you see this kind of moves, like price going down slowly, there are, so that means there is a big move coming in the stock. So I'm gonna have my level set on this one with the 2350 breaks, 2040, um 2043. Yes, I would never go along these shitty companies. I would always look for a short. If they are green, I will let them have their time, and then once they go into supply zone, they will give us a really good short opportunities like Beyond, Fastly, Hood. Um, I don't know. There are a couple many other kind of like Chewy, and then there's a Coin, and there are like so many companies. Like like you see there are shitty companies not making any money, and when they get these oversold bounces, when they get these short rallies, that they give us a really good short opportunities on the green days. So watch out for those companies to short easy. Um, See a good setup, Citigroup. Not gonna lie, a good setup here. Break 40, this 48.50, and then we can go down and then made this high here. So trying to make this higher highs, right? Um, Higher lows on this one, and then if it break this high, and then we can have an intraday trade too on this one. A lot of supply, guys. Any name you talk about now, especially in current scenario, they have a lot of overhead supply to clear before actually going into a bull market back again. So I think for a long period we're gonna see sell the rips kind of thing. Cat break this uptrend here, may break this clear uptrend on this one on high volume. So definitely on very high watch. On high watch 193.90 breaks, and then it's game over for cat. Break this highs, and then it can go even more down. Technically, I have this level and this level. So if it can come there in this level, that I would say, okay, it's time to go long on cat for some time, but let it go there first. So 193.90 breaks, and then it's gonna go a lot lower. CCL forming a bear flag into a supply zone, guys. So CCL, it's so funny, guys. It's so funny. CCL was here around this level. We got this huge impulsive move down. We got this huge impulsive move down, and then um, we have this A, B, and C, right? So downside. So that means one impulsive move is completed. That means now we're gonna get a bounce. What happened? And then I posted on Twitter that saying that in here around this level is that because we have seen price coming in this demand, guys. I don't want to short demand. I don't want to short demand. You don't short and demand when you have this huge move into the demand. You do not short. You forget about shorting, and then you only think about going long. And then what happened? Price came into this my demand zone clearly. Posted on Twitter on this day that we will see a bounces, and then we got a see a bounce, and then I also mentioned that it was something like this. So the chart was looking like this, right? The chart was looking like this. I was like, all right, so we have this impulsive move to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My target's completed. And then we got this ABC to the downside. So that means A leg complete. We're going to have a B leg, and then we're going to have a C leg to the downside. And then bull stepped in, and they were like, yo, how could that happen? CCL gonna make a new highs. It's just a correction of this move. It's gonna go up and all that, blah blah blah. I hope they're okay now in business, probably not at some McDonald's and kind of stuff. But okay, focus. I like, it went to my zone, it went here. And then what happened, guys? Whenever we have impulsive moves or downside, we see a short covering rallies, and all that stuff. And then we got this move into the supply back again. Look at this. This is a supply here, right? So it went back into supply again. It went back into supply, and then what happened? This was my target, guys. This was my target, $20. And then what happened? Price went there, and then we got a bounce. Everything's time stamped on Twitter, guys. It's not like I'm making up anything on my own. Hit my target at $20, made a new low, and then look what happened. I also mark this demand here. Uh, I mark this as a demand. Look what happened. Price impulsive move into the demand, and then you do not short demand. You buy in demand after this impulsive move. It came into this demand, and then we got a bounce, and then where we got a bounce, we are getting a bounce into supply. Now all the bulls are buying into supply. I don't know. um Part 2 is coming, I guess. So now we forming this bear flag into the supply zone. So there are high chances that it can reject, and then it's going to confirm once it breaks this level 2253. A nice sideways range it formed on CCL. Break this 2253, I can tell you that new lows coming, and I can also give you targets for new lows too. It goes here. Okay, perfect rejection of our levels. So if this level holds, this supply zone holds, then I would say CCL is actually going to 1650 next. It's a CCJ by, I mean, CCJ, I was saying CCL this whole time, my bad. So it's going to this level again here. Um, so that will give us a clear good short opportunity. And then CCL, guys, same thing with CCL. I posted on Twitter. I was like, okay, this thing is going down around here, and it's gonna go into this supply zone. It's gonna make this hook. It's gonna trap all this bull in this hook, and then they're gonna fucking drop. What happened? We made this hook, Everyone was so bullish on this hook when it was a clear ABC move to the downside here, right? It was a clear move of ABC to the downside, and then mentioned on Twitter that this was a huge W wave to the downside, and then this was a corrective wave, and then we're gonna have a more impulsive wave to the downside. It hit my target here, right here, 1250. That was my target. It hit my target on that dot, and then bounced. And then what's next? We got this another small impulsive move here on this range, right? So if we break this low, I'm expecting even more lows to come. A perfect setup for a short here. Um, I'm gonna set an alert at 1271. 1271 breaks. I'm telling you this. Easy 10 or 11 next on CCL. Guys, do not fight the trend. Trend is your friend, and then always see which way we are moving. All these levels. Trust your levels, trust your instinct, and then you're gonna be golden in this market. There is a reason I have 100% win rate in May, because I do not let anyone's bias affect my bias or my levels. So I trust my levels. So if I do not care if it's a bull market and bear market, um, if my levels are breaking, I am getting into a trade. It does not matter if it's the upside or it's the downside. So CLF next, price in a sideways here, in a sideways range. So either side break, we'll get a good trade. Guys, coin, have this on your watch list. Have this on your watch list. Um, we are in this huge range here out of nowhere. It's in the no man's land right now. So if we got a break to the upside, we got a good trade. Um, and then 60 64 breaks, and then we go down. So any bit can go down. That's it. And then someone said, so basically market is trying to test supply zones within ranges to more downside. Yes, guys. So what happens, we got this short covering rallies into the supply, and then they load it again, and then we short back again. So let's say this week, this they clear supply here in coin. That's a fresh tested supply, fresh supply never got tested. And then what shorts can do is, they can just run into supply by, just run into supply by covering their shorts, or even just or the short term traders, they can push it into supply. And then what's going to happen when price approach this fresh supply in the daily zone, right? And then they're going to buy shorts, and then more shorts are waiting here instead of this area, right? And then price goes into this range here, fresh range, that would give us a perfect shot, and then which might push even more to the downside, because there are more shots waiting here instead waiting here, right? You see the point? It's all psychological, guys. Once you see the chart, you gotta see where the buyers are sitting, where the sellers are sitting, so where you would buy, where would it make more sense to sell, and where would make more sense to buy. So if price goes into this zone, it would make more sense to sell in this zone rather than um, uh, just buying into supply. You know what I mean? It's easy, guys. Keep it simple. No indicators. All the indicators are just lagging here. So it's gonna destroy your account. So trust your levels, and then you're gonna be golden. I'm telling you this. You don't need indicators, guys. You only need naked charts with couple levels on it, and then you can trade this for your life, for a whole life, basically. um Cope, CRM. Okay, CRM, we're getting a bounces off this level, so price in the range here. So this remains the key level. 154.26 is a key level here on CRM. Cisco sideways range here. Not a good time to short, but if we get any higher, I'll let you guys know when to snipe that top on Cisco. CVS, we're getting this demand bounce on this one. Uh, Probably gonna go into the supply. and then reject back down. CVX, we got this fake out. We got this fake out of this range because you can see it's a clear fake out of this huge range and then rejected hard on high volume. You guys know what's next. 162.70 level breaks, and then I have some levels down here. 158, 154, this next. Unless we break this highs and then make a new low for a final leg up before going down. Costco, guys, Costco. Okay, someone asked me about Costco here in the chat. I remember. I can even find a chart that I was like, okay, we made a high, and then we made this hook. I was like, okay, top is in for Costco. It's made that hook after completing this. Look at this. We had this A, B, C into the demand here, and then we got this nice impulsive move to the upside. So counted this wave as 1, 2, as a 3, 4, 5 waves to the upside, and then it formed a hook of this pattern. And then I was like, okay, now it completed all my targets, and then now it's time for the downside play. Waves told that it's gonna go down, and then I had this target 470 for my waves, and then it got hit in couple days, which is I think, yeah, so in 27 days it hit my target on the dot. I had something like this. Yeah, it's gonna come back and then we're gonna get a bounce off this level, but earnings came up. Now it's even in the more uh, dead zone here. So 390 next on Costco for now, but very overextended move. I wouldn't do anything unless price goes into this zone here back. If I see price is going back into this zone, which is a clear um, uh, support first, and then now it's gonna work as a resistance. It's gonna go there, and then that would give us a perfect shot, guys. Perfect shot in this level, and then probably head back down on this one. So watch out this level on Costco. Guys, Tesla, I'll go through Tesla. I'm going through A to Z, so T is a bit far here, but Delta Airlines, two levels I'm watching going into next week is this highs 40, 85 and 37, 60. 37, 60 breaks, 35, 66 next on this one. And then we also got this uptrend break on Delta Airlines too. Let's see how that plays out. I think Datadog is gonna see new lows here pretty soon. So this one is a good one to short. So key level here is 87, 75. 87.75 key level here on Datadog, and the next level here on Datadog is around 70, 75. So break this zone here, break this. This is a cluster of candle where no one's make money, right? Where no one's make money, and then I would never advise for you to trade into a chop. Only trade a clear structure breaks. Mm. So bear flagging, break this level, and then it has room down. Guys, any chart you see is the same thing. I play every single chart the same. I treat every single chart the same. I do not care if it's a hood chart, $10 chart, or it's a SPY, or it's a Apple, or it's anything. Because by in the end of the day, every single chart moves the same. Every single chart moves the same. It doesn't matter if it's a gold chart, it's a Bitcoin chart, or it's a Forex shit, it's anything. Just everything moves the same. It's just your levels that comes into play. Guys, those who are interested, I'll let you know all that I trade live with Shinobi and Steel Arms every single day in samurai markets on Discord from Monday to Friday. We go live on I think around 9:30 until lunch, and then sometimes in the we come back in the power hour too. But we are always done in first 2 3 hours, so I don't bother trading in the after session. So the first 2 3 hours is the time when you can make money, and then rest is the time to losing money. So I try to trade in the first 2 3 hours and then try to be done for the day. So that's how we trade every single day live. And then my 100% win rate is also is there. My all alerts went, and then you can find it in there. And then on a side, I have my mentorship program going on, but it closed for now to new people. And then I'm only focusing on my students right now. I might open it in the future, but not sure right now. So I was free this summer, so I'm doing that. But keep look out for that if I open any spots in the mentorship program in the future. Mm. Dollar Tree, I think it has more room down. Definitely, it has more room down on Dollar Tree. So key level here is 123.57, 127.53 breaks, and then 114.73 next on this one. So I'm gonna set an alert here on Dollar Tree. So it looks like an easy trade on the break. God, I'll explain my magnets in a separate video someday. Like how I trade of the magnets, how I manage my trade using magnets, and all that. Pretty simple and easy to follow. So DVN energy name looks like the time has come for energy names to go down. Um, should go down. I mean, I'm expecting it to go down from these levels, but it made a new high. So that just kind of confirms me that that the top is near for energy names. Um, 6750 is a key level I'm watching on DVN. If it breaks, and this also looks like a rising wedge here on this one. So if it breaks, that would give us a good trade um, on energy names. Guys, if you're in the premium, you guys can go watch my 1 hour long video on the magnets, how I use it, how I trade and all that, what my strategies are. So it's in there 1 hour long in the premium section. But for you guys those who are not in the premium, for you guys, I'm gonna make a quick 10 15 minutes video on this one, guys. And Michael Anthony, guys, please don't. I read your message. What's the ECG, which is buying another oil company, guys. We don't invest in here. We trade in here. So I do not care. What's who's buying what. All I wanna see is just the company I can trade off, the options. I don't care about anything else. Microsoft is Microsoft buying so many companies and still going down. It doesn't mean anything. Um, eBay slowly going down. Slowly, it has no real support here up until like 41.89. Yes, guys, the Discord is closed to new members. We have no intentions yet to open it to new people, but keep an eye. We might open to new people. I think by next month we'll see if we open to new people. So put your name on the wait list, and then you guys will get an email when we open it. Yes, guys, but you guys can all join the free Discord, where we trade too. You can guys join the free section of Discord. Um, it's on Twitter, guys. Search on my Twitter, go in my bio, and then you guys can see. Um, I have Samurai Markets in my bio. Tag that. Go to their link and then join the free Discord. But premium is not open yet. Mm, XP guy, this is a setup. This is a setup. I'm telling you this. This is a setup that you should be your eyeing on. And then because this shit has huge gap here to fill, huge gap here to fill, 11840, um 11880 is a key level that I'm watching if it breaks. And then we also have this nice range break um, on the daily chart, and then we getting a retest of this level and then rejecting. So if we break this level, the next target here is 104. Very easy, high volume coming in on this drop here, even on this consolidation, high volume. um, and then it's coming back. Okay, so Ford is also the one I'm watching for a short here. Set an alert. The next target here on Ford is 1114 after this breakdown. Facebook. Okay, Facebook. What's Facebook doing? Sideways action. Have this range on your charts, and then only two levels you need for Facebook: 205.60 or 184.70. 184.70 breaks, it's gonna test these lows for sure. So I'm having sudden alert on this level. Up is far now, so we'll see. FCX looks like it's making this bear flag again. And then my target is not hit yet. It's bouncing off at no man's land. There's no demand here. It's just bouncing off of it. I think new lows is gonna come in FCX. It's a copper name. FedEx, guys, this shit is so annoying. But guess what, guys? It's gonna hit my target pretty soon. Is following so far. Is following so far. Call the top here on this one. And then since it's I wrote this whole wave down from here to here, not here, it's I sold before earnings. So this whole move I wrote was a downside, and then I saw this bounce coming after this impulsive move. And then I think around here, or this one, I also wrote one wave down as a swing to this whole move. And now I want to be short FedEx, but price in this range now. So that's what I don't like. That's a premium burn right there, right? So what's happening now with FedEx is price is in this bear flag. It broke down, now it's in a sideways range. So what I want is price to go below 195.70, break this level, and then no real support here, guys. No real support. Probably the perfect short setup in the US stock market. Break this level, and then it's gonna hit this weekly demand level where we can see some bounce of this level. So huge level I'm watching for FedEx. This one. First solar is gonna go down too, making this bear flag into the supply here. So it's game over for solar. Sideways action for Fastly. Any side break would give us a good trade. If it breaks here and then it goes into this supply, right? It's going to this supply. No, that would give us a good short setup. Sideways range, you guys know how to trade sideways action. Okay, CPG. Okay, let's clear the doubts here real quick. Is CPG? It's nothing, guys. Unless it's above 798, nothing's gonna happen. Earnings are already out. This looks like an energy name. So if energy names are going down, so that means it's at resistance. Unless it's above 798, it's not going anywhere. GM working its way down. Biden's favorite company. Um, GM is not working out the way it should be, I guess. 34.40 is a key level here on GM. I'm watching for next leg down. Should give us a good trade. on this one, break this, and the next level here on GM is 31 next. So almost a 10% move down on this break. So I would take it. I would take it. GameStop, guys, GameStop. A clear sideways action here on GameStop. So two levels I'm watching, 107.85 and then 69. I mean 89.61 on GameStop. If it breaks this level, it would give us a fire trade. Google rejected of this level here, so not a good sign, but we'll see how that goes. Um, Goldman Sachs, guys. Goldman Sachs is sideways action going on. So I would have this low as my put trigger and then this high as my call trigger because it's a range. It can go anywhere. No bias when price is in a range. HD, this name is not easy to trade, guys. I'm telling you, this name is not easy to trade. It always chops around. It's always fucking chopping. Look at this. Even if it's fucking going down, it's not actually going down. It's chopping and going down. So always be careful when trading this name. So always trade cost this HD when it's out of this range here. So it's in this range, not going down. Just if it breaks this level, I'm only gonna trade then it might chop to would never size heavy in this shit. HLT fire setup here, guys. Fire setup. You don't want to miss this. Huge range, huge range here forming, and then we got this um, fake out. We got this fake out, and then we got this hook, and then drop, right? And then now it's at support. You guys know what happens after this. I don't need to tell you guys. You guys are here for long enough. 120.95 is the next support here on HLT. Warren Buffett's investment gonna lose money pretty soon. He bought this company, I guess, and then pumped the fuck out of it. Since then, I think not long anymore now. So after earnings, let's see how earnings goes. One key level is 33. 33 breaks. Uh, I don't know. It's game over for HPQ and then Warren Buffett's investment. Um, 33 level breaks and then it's game over for HPQ. IBM, because this is also name I'm watching for a short, to be honest. Um, Most people say, in this it's in this downtrend channel, but it's all right. 124.95 is a key level I'll be watching for any downside play on IBM. Intel, guys, what I play, guys. Intel, guys. W for the Intel in the chat, please. What I played was, guys, this should went from minus 80%. Then I was like, okay, this is gonna go down 100%. I was so into it. I was like, okay, how could this not drop? This has that dump look. It broke this level, it retested it, and then on some volume, how come this is not going down? So I held it, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell it once it goes 100%. And then it was down minus 80%. And then on Friday, I was holding, and then I sold it for 380% from minus 80%. So that was a wild ride for Intel. So KSC, fire, guys. I know most of you guys banked hard on Intel. Those who believed, they banked. Coke. Um, Very extended move here. Very extended move. On this one. So what I would wait for is price to go to this level. This is a clear range here. It broke down. Go there. Reject here, and then go back down. So that's the move for Coke here. Easy short setup in my opinion. Yo, KR guys, this name I think this week I think this also about 300%, right? This all went 300%. Uh, but if anyone held, that would be like 1000%. But we sold here on this day, did not held. I think a couple people held KR to this level, and it went 1000% for them. But I think we closed it for 300 or 400% on this drop. We saw this coming. On I think on May 17, everything was green. There was only one red play, which was KR, and then we were in KR. That's just crazy. Mm. Uh, Lucid. So two levels here on Lucid I marked. Look at this. It went there and rejected, and then it goes there and rejected. So that means both levels are valid. So unless Lucid is about 2027, I'm not getting into calls, or it below 1770, only then I'm getting into puts. So clear levels here. LMT, I like this setup. I like this setup along with energy. Has uh, the look of going down. So LMT, this name should follow too. LMT, RTX, BA, all this. So what's next for LMT? Break this uptrend here. 417 is the key level. I'm watching break this level, and then it has no real support up until like 400. So it should be an easy shot here below 417 and 411. So two levels I'm watching, and then you guys should too. Lucid, I think I already talked about Lucid. Um, LNG energy name. I like the setup. Uh, Break this low, and then it can test this high say that it breakout levels before that it formed. Let's look at KSC. Yeah, so I mean it was gonna drop anyway. I mean if you look at the structure here, right, it's a clear rising wedge into the supply here, and then momentum decreased. This I could literally count 3 5 waves to the upside. I can clearly count here. This is a wave one, two, three, four, and 5 waves. So clear 5 waves to the upside, and then momentum's decreasing, price increasing, momentum's decreasing, and then 5 waves up. So with ending with a divergence, that drop was kind of know like it's coming. So that's why I was very sure on my MO short. That's why I was very sure on my KR short, right? Because I saw this coming. More to come. More to come. Is not done yet. All these names are not done yet, because what happens after impulsive move, we got a corrective move to the upside, probably into the supply here somewhere, right? Probably into the supply, corrective move into the supply after this impulsive move to the downside, and then it's gonna work its way lower to the downside. So let me give you targets here. How it can pull back into these zones before heading back. So I think it's gonna, yes, guys, it's gonna pull back into these zones here. I'm gonna mark very high chances it can pull back into this zone. If it goes there, that would make a perfect A, B, and C to the downside on this levels here. Let me clear this so you guys can see clearly what I'm talking about, right? This A, B, and C to the downside, and then for the C wave, my targets would be around $33, which is also aligns with this daily demand here. So would make sense. Would love to see KHC trading um, in these levels pretty soon after we get this short pump, short-lived short pump. So Lululemon's break this key level here on the daily chart. So on watch for a short, watching 264 here, breaks 264 and then give us a fire trade. Um, no real support here, guys. No real support on Lululemon. 248 is probably my next target here on this break here. Macy's, okay. This is a good one to short, to be honest. But I want to see some more structure here to form. Just dropping hard, so I want to see some more sideways action on this one before shorting it again. Um, guys, look at this fucking chop. I mean, I don't want to trade this. Yo, ammo. Okay, what's next for ammo, guys? More downside. That I can confirm for sure. But when? Um, Soon enough. Probably next week. Um, so 50-40 is a key level watching on ammo. Break this level and then 48-61 next. We had this huge uptrend break and retest is going down. Now this level 48-61 I'm watching on the break. Guys, you guys are having fun or what? You guys liking it? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat how you guys liking it. So I would do it more often than only once or twice a month. I feel like you're all sleeping, not active in the chat. Guys, MU is a level I'm watching. Only one level you need, guys. Only one level need. Fire, guys. Fire. Love to see it. Love to see you guys are liking it. Uh, MU, only one level I'm watching. 65, uh, 80 level. So 65, 80 level I'm watching on MU. It break this level. It break this level, and guess what's next? It's game over. Game over. uh, for MU. No real support after this breakdown. And the next support is at 55, has huge gap to fill. A perfect short setup is brewing up on MU. Only guys if it breaks this level. That's it. That's it. Or if it breaks this highs. This is a clear supply here. If it breaks, then we can trade to the upside. But for now, price in a range, and then I do not trade ranges. Net guys, this is also a good setup you should be your eyeing on. um, After this gap down, usually what happens when price is consolidating sideways, we see very low volume, right? We see very low volume um, on this on consolidation. But in this case we are seeing a huge volume spikes in this sideways action. So there are two scenarios here. Either it's a distribution phase, shorts are getting out, or this is an accumulation phase. I mean, this is a distribution phase and shorts are loading up in this range, or this is an accumulation phase where shorts are getting out, they don't want to short it anymore, or we can see them move to the upside, right? But what I think is this is a distribution phase going on right now on Cloudflare, and then we will see some fresh lows on this one. 51 is a key level I'm watching. Is this level break, and then this is a game over for net. Next level is 44.88 and 40 next. So this is a key level I'm watching. For upside, I'm not that interested unless it breaks this highs. So I wouldn't even go long net, to be honest, guys, because the thing is, even if I'm long net and then it breaks out of here somewhere, right? Because where it's gonna go, it's gonna go to supply here, where the fresh sellers are waiting for for it to short here at these levels, right? So it's gonna go there, it's gonna get short back down. So I don't wanna go long on net at all unless I see some clear structures, right? Netflix, two levels, 196, 175. That's all you need. Day trade levels. Okay, Nike bouncing off this level nicely. So what can happen? We could see some bounces there. Like when you see a support bounce, what can happen? You see some bounces, and then this kind of stuff can happen. And then we have this a fresh demand here on the daily chart. So let's see what happens with Nike. Not interested unless we are above this high for a long. Um, Guys, I would rather wait like a week, sometimes a month for a setup to play out. There are setups out there that I played after 2 months after waiting. There are so many setups out there. Like I wait, but when the time comes, I pull the trigger. It's not like I'm watching this setup for 2 months and then when it breaking down or breaking out, then I'm not pulling the trigger. That never happens, right? So wait for your setup, and then when it comes, when it breaks, pull that trigger, and then build that confidence, build that conviction, and then you guys gonna be golden. I'm telling you this, guys. This stuff is easy. It's not hard. Just like, people make it hard by thinking too much. Be a robot, pull the trigger, and then you're good. Yo, look where Nvidia bounced off this base here that it formed. We got this nice rally, we got this base, we got this push up, and then buyers are waiting here. Buyers were waiting here for price to push up. Price came into this zone here first time. We got a bounce, weak bounce into supply, got rejected hard, back into demand. We got a small bounce. So what's next? If this zone lost, if buyers lost this zone, then what's next for Nvidia is 142, 130 is the next level for Nvidia. Yeah, guys, people cannot stop eating, but in order to be in the business, you gotta have a support from the businesses. Think about this way, guys. Think about this way. Every single growth companies out there, they need money to operate, right? So they need money to operate their business. And right now we are in a high inflationary times when people like to limit their purchases to only the important ones. And then when we have businesses, who needs money every single day to run, and then they do not have big cash reserves, even though the companies like Apple, they have trillions of dollars of cash reserves, they still don't never use their own money. They use government's money. They use banks money, and then when they use their bank money, then they pay interest on top of it. And then right now we are in this environment where the money is expensive to borrow. When money is expensive to borrow, what's going to happen? You know, Small businesses or even any big businesses, they're going to slow down because their cost is going to be more towards paying their interest, or because they have money they borrow. So what are they going to do? They're going to borrow less, and then they're going to be innovating less, they're going to be expanding less, right? So if they're expanding less, if they are innovating less, they're doing less R&D, and then they're paying more what they used to, what's going to happen in the end? Their profit is going to drop, their market is going to drop, their growth is going to slow down, and then the earnings not going to come out good, and then that's going to affect the stock price in the end. And then that's why, you know stock market is always forward looking, even though when the earnings not coming out, it's always forward looking. And then market saw this coming, that's why we are having this drop, because it's always forward looking. Market is not waiting for a result and then drop. It's drop in anticipation of what is about to happen in the future. So all these companies are dropping just on anticipation that they are, because they are not gonna make money, because the inflationary times we are in. So that's why they are dropping now, not waiting for any kind of results, right? Hope I make sense here, and then you guys understand it fairly well. Mm, OSDK. This one I also played, I guess, this week for a nice gain. Um, Watching next level here, which is 25, 21, 25, 21 breaks, 21, 81, or 19 is next. Guys, China's reopening, first it closed down. For it closed down for a couple of months, we are still gonna see those effects on the market here, right? So if something happens, if supply chain disrupted for 2 months straight, we are not seeing, we might not see their effects yet, but we're gonna see their effects slowly, right? Because it's a long process, it's all the supply chain issues and issues coming back and forth. You're gonna see their effects in the slow run. Even if they open, China's reopening now, we're not gonna see the effects right away on the supply chain, right? Because it's already we have supply chain disrupt so much. It's gonna take time to recover all this. So even if they're opening now, we're not gonna see a short-term effects right away. It's gonna be long-term effect probably in a month, 2 or 3 or 4. So mark is gonna look into that and then gonna priced according to that, right? So for Oxy, we had this fake out of this level, and then now obviously, guys, if there is a more supply, what's gonna happen? If there's a more supply, there's gonna be less demand, and then price is gonna drop. So think about it this way too. 6140 is a key level here on Oxy. If it breaks this level, and then the next level here is 5695, so it needs to break this zone here basically. Break this zone. Looks like we made a hook on cost on Oxy here. Let's see how that plays out. And okay, this is a good setup for a upside, in my opinion. Only if it breaks, guys. Only if it breaks for the upside, we can play it till it goes to this supply here. Never got a retest. Less if we got a break and it goes there, and then we can easily short here, pen here at these levels. So I'm watching pen this week. Pepsi, guys, same level. Made this hook here, made this hook, and then went down. And then what's next? Um, we had this A, B, C moves on downside, and then we probably get a pullback into the supply. We probably get a pullback into supply before heading down. Um, and then which is around this level here. So Expecting PG to trade around these levels after some pullback into this supply here. Um, Pfizer breaking out. I did not expect Pfizer to break out, but I think it's going to come down pretty soon. Um, it's in this impulsive move to the downside. Did not hit my target. Looks like a structure imbalance here on this one. Um, Approaching supply. This is a supply here, clear fresh supply zone. This is where I would go short, not long, right? Unless price breaks come down here and then form some sideways action and then break out of it, that would make sense. But for now it's hovering into supply, and then it looks like an also a bounce of wave B to the upside like this one before heading back down here. Let's see how that goes. It needs to break the trend here. Looks like it's forming this bear flag, right? So, and this huge head and shoulder, I don't expect Pfizer to go up um, unless it's above this one, and then it breaks my thesis are wrong here. Um, if prices break above this highs. Mm, So Pepsi, we did it, and then PG, same thing. PayPal rejected hard. So watching this level here, 76.24 to the downside. Qualcomm, no. Roblox I'm watching. This low 29.58 is a key level I'm watching on Roblox. All right, guys, I'm tired. I gotta go now. It's already 12 o'clock. So we're gonna stop it here. I think we have done enough for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. If you guys want me to look at any charts, let me know, and then I'm gonna look into it too. Guys, let me know if you guys have any questions or any chart requests. I can look into it before going. Tesla, not a good look on Tesla to be honest. Broke this key level here, um, having this downtrend. So let's look at weekly. Um, so only level I'm watching on Tesla is 634, 633. So 633 breaks, 540 next on Tesla. I'm gonna go long. Wouldn't try to buy that dip here to be honest. Huge volume spike on Friday. Um, unless guys price is above what this level 787, then we can go long on this one. Yeah, above 787, we can trade long on Tesla. I think all rips are gonna get sold here, but if it breaks 634 next week, easy targets to like 540 something or 570. Yo, Michael Anthony, why are you all in all these shitty companies? Levi's, no, I thought you were talking about like, look at this. Come on, it's completely dropping here, completely dropping. It's into the supply zone. I don't care about earnings, what's gonna happen, but the charts look like shit. Um, guys, Neo. I think I didn't go through Neo. Okay, let's go through Neo real quick. Um, hovering into supply, hovering into supply here. Clearly, if it breaks above 1817, then I'm gonna go long, and then if it breaks below, this range here, which is 1524, breaks 1524, and then we can play the downside here. Walmart, AMD, guys, Walmart, same thing. Wait for a bounce. Wait for a bounce. Do not short it yet. No, I mean it can go lower, guys. But the thing is, risk to reward is not there for shorting at this point. What I would say, I would wait for a price to go back into supply here, or into these levels. So these are two levels I'm watching, right? So I want price to go into these levels before rejecting. So then we can get a good short setups there at these levels. AMD, guys, I already went through AMD. You guys can go and look at into the whenever that A. Um, Detailed explanation why I took the ammo trade. Okay, guys, a quick recap of ammo trade, why I took it. So the reason I took it was very clear, because price was into this supply zone here. Price was into this, went into supply zone. It closed into supply zone after this huge impulsive move to the downside. um, Price closed into this supply, and then where I knew that it was going to go down, and then I took my chances and shorted it. It went, I saw it, we saw this rejection on the next day on MO, right? And then I was like, okay, it's rejecting supply, so there are very very high chances that it's gonna drop next day. And then what happened, we also, it's a gap down, and then just completely went down for a 700% play. Very nice trade here. You guys know what's next for MO. You guys can see on my screen. uh, would you show ES? How do you approach the chart and find the levels? ES, let's look at ES. So levels, guys, very easy levels here, on easy to spot levels on ES. So this is one level, this is another level, this is another level here, right? And then we have a level now here that we are working with. And then what's the another level here? So this is the another level. So how do I choose my levels? Quick lesson on levels here, quick at the end. I would see where the price rejected or respected in the past. So this is the level. In the past I have seen, if you look at stretch in this zone here, you see in the past price respected this level in the past. It came to this level, formed a base, and then it broke out. It broke out of this level, so that means this is a good level. This was a good level. And then I was telling everyone that this is a good level when price was here, that there's no reason to short into the demand. And then what happened, price respected this level in the past, came here first time, and then we got a bounce, and then we got a double bottom of this level, and then we got a huge bounce of this level. And then price ended where it rejected the last time, right? Where it rejected last time. This is a huge supply. This was a huge supply. Why? Because it was a huge supply, because price made a new low of this level. Price made a new low of this level, made a new lower low on this level. And then what happened, price went back to this level. Sellers were waiting there to short the fuck out of SPY. And then we shorted here too. And then it goes into SPY first time, the fresh one. And then sellers waiting. And then what happened, it went there, it went, and then it made a hook. And then I shorted here AMD, I shorted here, not the SPY. AMD was a good setup at that point, and then it went into this level, and then I shorted all the way back down AMD for 1,000% trade here. I also did a recap on that on AMD, how I caught that top on AMD. You guys go watch that video on my channel, how I caught the top using this supply zone here. So you guys will learn how I took a uh, trade based off a daily fresh supply zone. Um, so that's how I mark my levels here, guys. You can clearly see where price rejected or respected in the past. That is where you need to set your levels. Guys, SPY, I went through it already in the beginning. You guys can see in the ETF section. I went through it. So SoFi 681 is a key level here on SoFi, and for the upside, I would say this is this is a good level to play the upside, but not for long because it's gonna meet supply in in this range here too. So even if it goes there, then it high chances of rejection. Even if it passed this level somehow, it's gonna meet this big level here where I expect a rejection too. So that's my outlook for the next week, guys. I hope you all liked it. I hope you guys learned something new from this charting session. Give your reviews, guys. Give your reviews on Twitter, so guys, I can retweet and then it can reach more people. And then give your reviews on Twitter. How did you guys like it or not? And then so I can do it more often and it can reach more people. And then also, guys, thumbs up on the video on in the YouTube, so it will go into the algorithm, and then more and more people will see it and they can learn from this free charting session every week. So I would really really appreciate the love if you guys show. Thanks everyone again for joining. I'll see you guys next week, or probably a week after, but I'm gonna post my watch list every single day on Twitter. So watch out for my watch list and my setups that I share every single day. And if you guys have any request and you want me to chart anything, you guys can also comment under any post, and then I will